this training, we're going to be reviewing Voyant's expense, fulfillment, and liquidation order logic in the Voyant global system. I want to take a look first at our plan settings, and let's review the liquidation order settings. This is the current liquidation order set in my plan. These are my defaults. I have taxable, tax deferred, and tax-free in that order. You may say something different depending on your firm's own settings. To review what this does in the plan, this is going to tell the software what accounts to liquidate in what order. In this version of a plan, my software is going to be looking in the retirement phase for any available income in the plan, and then it's going to move to this liquidation order, starting with taxable accounts first. So let's take a look at what that looks like in the software. If we click on the details button of our cash flow chart, you can see that we're moving through various items in that order. So in year one, for example, we have a total expense need of $332,677. We are using taxable savings or investment accounts to fulfill $222,654 of that amount, and then the rest of the amount is being fulfilled by the other income items in the plan for that year. It's not till we run out of these taxable assets that we move to our tax deferred assets in the form of retirement savings. So let's take a look at what that looks like in the year view. If you scroll over to the first year in retirement, you'll be able to see the actual accounts that are flowing into the plan in that year. We're pulling money from their emergency fund and their joint investment account, and then we are using their pensions and rental income to fulfill the rest. If we move over to the year where we start pulling from tax deferred investments, you can see we've got the non-registered savings in the form of joint investment accounts here, and we also have some emergency fund dollars, and then we're pulling the rest from their retirement savings. If you look at the investments section, you might be able to suss out why we've moved on to another source, and that's because the joint investment account has a zero balance at the end of that year, and then this emergency fund has hit its minimum balance requirement of $20,000. And so we're now moving to our tax deferred investments, and we are not pulling from this tax-free account yet. You can more tightly control your planned withdrawals and your withdrawal limits on your accounts if you have a specific strategy in mind that this doesn't cover. To do that, you can go to your savings and investments section, select the account that you would like to more tightly control. Let's say, for example, Johnny's employer-sponsored tax-deferred account. We can go to our withdrawal limit. Right now, the default is set to pull from this account as needed, but we could change it to scheduled only, for example, and then set up a planned withdrawal strategy. To do that, you would add a withdrawal, save and continue, and then we're going to do Johnny's annual retirement withdrawal. You can select an actual amount, an amount with inflation, percentage, or you can pull all available out of this account. In my example, I want to do a percentage withdrawal. So let's say we are pulling 4% out of this account annually. You can select yes as a recurring withdrawal, update the timing, and say when we want those withdrawals to start occurring. So let's say we want those withdrawals to start when Johnny retires and end at plan end. And then we would click done to save, and you should now see the planned withdrawals listed in yellow here in the plan, and you'll see those all the way through the cash flow until either the end of the plan or until that account runs out of funds. And you can go to year view, investments, and look at the actual retirement account itself and see that scheduled withdrawal in the withdrawal section. I hope that this was helpful. If you have any questions or you'd like to walk through a plan with one of our support members, you can select the name of your client in the top right, request support, enter your question into the text box, and share client access. Thanks for listening.